Everyone, and welcome back to the Mind and Body Soul Evolution. I appreciate you being here. Today we're doing something different. I am talking about meditation. I'm going to dispel some of the myths about meditation and give you some keys and some highlights to help you to be successful. I know a lot of people tell me I can't meditate. So when you're trying something new, I urge you to give yourself to be patient with the process. Um, Meditation, first thing is that it's not about quieting your mind or stopping your thoughts. Your mind is meant to work all the time. Meditation, what it does is it takes your mind and tells your mind what you want it to focus on. So instead of it running rampant on 1,000 things that probably are not even true, you ask your mind to be present with what you're doing. So we can even start something here. Of course, if you're driving or if you're at work, don't do this now, but I invite you to close your eyes and take your shoulders and draw them back. Exhale through your mouth and just draw your shoulders down. Let your eyes close, take one hand onto your heart. And draw a slow breath in through your nose. Pause at the very top of this breath. And let the breath out through your nose. And pause at the bottom. And draw a slow breath in through your nose. Pause at the very top. Let the breath out through your nose. Pause at the bottom. Draw a slow breath in through your nose. Pause at the top. Let the breath out through your nose. Pause at the bottom. You feel free to continue that. If you want, you can place your hands over your eyes. Flutter your eyes open and then come back to the video. So, meditation is telling your mind what to focus on, and it's a lot easier when you have a guided meditation or somebody directing you, right? There's a lot of videos on YouTube with music or guided meditation. So if you think it's something that it's impossible, it's not impossible, but you also have to look at your mindset about things, about trying new things. If you keep telling yourself, I can't do this, then you're not going to find a success. So I do invite you to look at your mindset about learning new things. So that's the first thing, right, about meditation, is that it's not about quieting your mind or stopping the thoughts in your mind. It's about directing your mind what you want it to focus on. Now, meditation, we have all heard, with a regular meditation practice, we are relaxed, we are calm, we get clarity and focus. And that is so true. Right, when we are able to relax our mind, now not to stop it, but to relax the racing thoughts and bring it into focus, our body starts to relax, especially if we add a breathing practice, whether like that little short breath work we just did. Once we start to get relaxed, we start to gain clarity, right? We create space for answers to come in, especially if we're having problems or if we're dealing with a lot of stress in life. But here's the thing, here's the little thing. We all have things happening in our lives, things from the present, things from our past, things we've forgotten about. And when you have a regular meditation practice, and your mind and body start to relax and they start to align with one another, then you might start to notice that problems from your past or old thought patterns start to make their way to the surface. And they will, when our bodies and our minds are relaxed and we're in a place of ease. Then that gives us the opportunity to release these past memories or events or thought patterns or processes, and they start to make their way to the surface. But as they make their way, we can start to feel angry. We can start to feel frustrated. We can start to feel a little lost. This is the thing about meditation that no one talks about, the healing that it brings. And healing is messy. And I would love to tell you, oh, it's just fine. You just let it go and you're happy. It can be a messy process because a lot of times we're reliving the emotions attached to the situation. What meditation does help you to do is, if you have a regular practice or even an irregular practice, it's the release that is happening. So we don't have to actually relive the whole thing, but we have to allow the energy to come out of our body. And that can take a little bit of time. So, and then that's when we get to the place of being more calm in our everyday life, being more relaxed, being able to handle problems a little easier because we've released some of the stuff. But again, it gets messy. Things start to bubble up, and especially if they are emotional pains from our past, and they could be things that are in our conscious mind, and they could be things in our subconscious mind that we've buried that are really old, and we just decided to push them down. But they're not doing us any good staying in our body. They have to make their way out. Meditation creates a safe space for that to happen. And here's the thing. These things wouldn't come up if you were not ready in your soul to let them go. It's a messy situation, like I said, and it can be frustrating, but if you go back to the basics and the foundations of meditation and breathing through things as they start to make their way up, it's a lot easier. And when you let them come up, and look, you can get mad, you can get frustrated, you can cry, you can yell, you can journal. All of these things are very helpful because this is energy that's been stuck in your body. And depending on how long it's been stuck in your body, right, it might take a little longer to come out. So this is actually just a release. And I don't mean the word just in a small way. But you're not in the middle of this thing. The memories are coming up, and it's a really good time. This could actually lead to some shadow work. This is a really good time to journal these feelings or these emotions or this event or whatever it is. Now, a lot of times when these things start to come up and we don't want to look at them, then we start to shove them back down again. And then we say meditation doesn't work. But that's exactly what meditation is doing. It is working when it brings these things up to the surface. And if our response is to numb ourselves with food or drugs or alcohol or prescription medications, and sometimes you kind of need something, but we don't want something to completely numb us out. We want to be able to, from a place of calmness, from a place of controlling our breathing, to lean into the situation. All healing. Our bodies heal from the inside out. Our emotions heal from the inside out. So we have to be able to sit in that, being calm, breathing in and out, focusing on that and allowing that healing to happen from the inside. And that will start to grow and make its way out. And as the healing bubble inside starts to get a little bigger and dispel these feelings and the situation, it will start to make its way out. So if you start a meditation practice and you start getting frustrated and old memories start to resurface, that means it's time for you to release it. It's time for you to look at it. And it's time for this thing to be healed. Because the longer we hold it in our body, the more it holds us back from being our authentic self. And ultimately, meditation brings us back to our soul self. The self that is within us, the self that is beyond who we are on the outside, beyond our names and our genders and our titles at work and our placement in our families. It is the essence of our being, our soul, and that's what it brings us back to. And it could be a messy situation, but that's all temporary. Like I say a lot of times, but I'm not the one who came up with this first. Like, we don't touch the same water twice, right? Everything comes and everything goes. But you get to choose if you start a meditation practice. And you can start we just did 3 breaths, right? Was it like 30 seconds? You can start with that. You can go on, move up to a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You can set a timer. But if these things start to happen, that means you're ready. That means you're ready to heal. But if you choose not to do that, then that's fine. That's your choice. But then you're choosing to hold yourself back from being fully who you're supposed to be and who you're meant to be. So, but continue your meditation practice, because once you get past the bubble, then it gets really sweet. And that doesn't mean problems won't come up, but you'll have the tools to handle the new problems that come up and to handle old things that start to resurface, other things that start to resurface. But you will have the tools with your meditation practice. So, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's not exactly, just sitting there like this and being all calm. And yes, it's very calming. But in the calm is when the truth reveals itself and when the answers come. And that is the ultimate healing. That is the ultimate healing, is when we can allow ourselves to look at situations for what they actually are, for people for who they are, for the things that happen to us, and for the things that we have done, right? Because we as well have done things to other people. And then that's where forgiveness comes in, and that's where wholeness comes in. So I invite you, let's close our eyes again if you are inclined. So just close your eyes. Draw a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth. Let it go. Hands can rest on your legs if you want. So if your palms are down, that's a sign that you want to feel grounded and connected. If your palms are up, that's a sign that you're ready to receive in. Or you can take one hand to your heart. It's your choice. I'm going to sit with my palms up. So draw a breath in through your nose. And just pause for just a moment. Let the breath out through your nose. Let your shoulders soften a little more here. Pause at the bottom. Draw a slow breath in. And pause at the top. Let the breath go. Maybe a little audibly here, right? And pause at the bottom. Draw a slow breath in. Pause at the top. Slow breath out. Pause at the bottom. We'll do one more. Slow breath in. Pause at the top. Slow breath out. Pause at the bottom. And come back to slow breath. And bring your hands together at your heart. Rub them together really fast. And stop and separate your hands. You'll feel energy between your hands. That is Reiki energy. Turn your hands so your fingertips are at the top of your eyebrows. Just let the energy kind of make its way into your eyes and face. Slowly flutter your eyes open. Bring your hands back to your legs, whatever feels good. And just do that. Maybe nothing more than that. It will eventually get a little longer, a little deeper. But if you want to have a meditation practice, embrace it for everything that it holds. Ultimately, we're here to heal. We're here to let go of the past. We're here to understand. And we're here to have a life that is full of joy, happiness, love, and abundance. If we hold on to the past, if we let these things stay inside of our body, that cannot happen. It's when we start to let these things make their way out, is when we have joy and fulfillment and happiness and abundance. So I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And until next time, always I send you light and love, and I'll see you on the next video, everyone. Take care.